on value management. Welcome to the second lecture series on project management calculations. In this lecture, we will be learning about all the cost related terms used in on value management and also in the schedule management. We will learn about earned value, planned value, actual cost, estimate at completion, budget at completion, estimate to complete, variance at completions, etc. and look through some very important formulae such as schedule variance, cost variance, schedule performance index, cost performance index, estimate to complete, estimate at completion, budget at completion, variance at completion, and to complete performance index. Before moving on, if you haven't gone through the first part of the project management calculation series, please kindly visit the lecture through the link in the description, where I have talked about calculation of the communication channels, estimates with triangular and beta distribution, and calculations involving float or slack. These are very important from the exam point of view. As add-ons to this lecture, I kindly request you to download the 2-pager quick exam refresher guide, which includes every formula, tips for the numericals in exams, and answer to the questions I have asked in this video to help you assess your knowledge on the topic. This is very important as you need to make sure whether you are ready enough to attend the exam. This is all for you, as I want you to get confident enough out of every resources I provide. Please do not forget to get that through the link in the description. First of all, let's start with the S-shaped graph over here. You can see different terms such as planned value, earned value, actual value or actual cost or schedule value, budget at completion, etc. So why this S-shaped curve? This is quite a logical curve for projects because it denotes that the resources, be it time or schedule or cost, are not utilized in the same rate throughout the project. Why is that? Because basically at the start of the project, we generally go for making project charters, making team, making different other plans, right? So we do not invest much resources initially as we do in the middle part of the project. So you see resources being slowly used up, affecting cost or schedule at the beginning of the project. Then towards the mid-project part, a large number of resources are required. Note that this is not the scenario for the agile projects, which I will teach later with the velocity diagrams. Just for now, understand that resources utilization or the amount of work completed as per the schedule is different for different points in the project, though maintaining at the same level would be ideal. Towards the end, we are closing the project. We are not utilizing much resources as we do towards mid-project part, so there is a kind of plateau here. So let's suppose this is the planned value of the cost or schedule for our project. Planned value simply means what value of the work is estimated or planned to be completed. There is another term, earned value, which simply means the value of work that is actually completed at the current time. Another term, actual cost, refers to actual cost incurred in the work as of present. Budget at completion means the planned budget that we planned at the completion. Estimate at completion means the total forecasted budget that we expect for the total project. As we progress our project, chances maybe we may need more or less budget to complete the project than what we initially planned. So it could be higher or lower than the budget at completion. Another term, estimate to complete, means a forecast of how much more it will cost us from the present value where we have reached in the project to total cost of the project. Variance at completion means how much more or less will we be money-wise than what we planned at the completion of the project. It is the difference between estimate at completion and budget at completion. You don't have to memorize all this if this is first time you are learning these terms, because I have given every formula that could be helpful for the quick exam preparation in the project management examination. It also contains the answers to the questions I asked in the first part of this lecture. So please do not forget to download that check sheet. It will be very, very important for you to memorize these terms and formulae for the exam. Now let us go through some formulae that are very important. The first formula, schedule variance. Schedule variance is the difference between earned value and planned value. Schedule variance, or SPI, equals earned value minus planned value. When this value is negative, you should understand that you are behind the schedule, and when it is positive, you should understand that you are ahead of the schedule or what you had initially planned. Another term, Schedule Performance Index or SPI, is the ratio of planned value and earned value. This means at what rate we are progressing than what we had originally planned. SPI or Schedule Performance Index could be greater or lesser than 1. Greater than 1 means we are progressing at the speed more than what we had originally planned, so it's good. And less than 1 means we are progressing slower than what we originally planned, and it may bring us into problems, as we may not complete the project in due time or may have to add additional resources or people to complete the project in due time. I want to give you one hint regarding memorization techniques of this formula. Whenever you see this term schedule, be it schedule variance or schedule performance index, just understand that you need to use two terms, earned value and planned value. When you subtract a planned value from the earned value, you get the variance, and when you divide the earned value by planned value, you get the index or SPI. Also notice this term EV or earned value always comes first, be it while we subtract to get variance or while we form the ratio to get the performance index. Enough with that. Let's get to another important formula, or I will say similar formula. This formula, the cost variance, is the difference between earned value and actual cost. Cost variance or CV is equal to earned value minus actual cost. When the value is negative, you should understand that the project is running over budget, and when it is positive, you should understand that you are under budget. Another term, Cost Performance Index or CPI, is the ratio of PV and CV. This means what we are getting in return of every dollar spent. CPI could be greater or lesser than 1. Greater than 1 means we are getting more value for every dollar spent, and less than 1 means we are getting lower value for every dollar spent, and it may bring us into problems as we may not complete the project due to lack of budgets. I want to give you another hint regarding memorization technique. Whenever you see this term, cost, be it cost variance or cost performance index, just understand that you need to use two terms, earned value and actual cost. When you subtract the actual cost with the earned value, you get the variance, and when you divide the earned value by actual cost, you get the index. Also notice that this term EV or earned value always comes first, be it while we subtract to get variance or while we calculate the ratio to get the cost performance index. We then have another term, estimate at completion. Note that estimate at completion is what we currently expect the forecast of the total cost could be, and as I mentioned earlier, it could be lesser or more than the budget at completion. Formula number 1 for estimate at completion or EAC. Estimate at completion equals actual cost or AC plus bottom up ETC or estimate to complete. Basically, we use this formula when the original estimation is flawed, and it calculates the actual plus new estimate for the remaining work. Formula number 2 for estimate at completion or EAC. This is used if we continue spending at the same rate or there are no variances in the budget at completion. So this formula is used when the original estimate is met without any deviation. It means you are going pretty well with the project. You can continue the project in the same way. The formula is EAC equals BAC by CPI cumulative or cost performance index. Let's see the third formula for estimate at completion or EAC. EAC equals AC plus BAC minus EV, where AC is the actual cost, BAC is budget at completion, EV is the earned value. When the current variances of the cost are atypical to the future, or say when they don't match, or in simpler terms, say the variance is caused by one-time event which is not likely to be repeated in the future, we use this formula. What we do in that case is we add up all the actual cost till date and then add the remaining budget to that cost. So this BAC minus EV, this term is the remaining budget. So making a summary, this formula is used when the current deviation with the original estimation is thought to be different in the future. Let's see the final formula for the estimate at completion or EAC. EAC equals AC plus BAC minus EV divided by CPI times SPI. Here AC is the actual cost, BAC is the budget at completion, EV is the earned value, CPI is the cost performance index, and SPI is the schedule performance index. Basically, you can use this formula to calculate actual to date plus remaining budget changed based on the performance. It is used when we believe that the current ratio is typical as planned. So if we will have to meet the schedule earlier than originally what we determined, we can calculate the EAC accordingly to meet that schedule. Again, I kindly request you to download the 2-pager quick exam refresher guide, which includes every formula, tips for numericals in the exams, and answer to the questions I have asked in my other videos as well to help you assess your knowledge on the topic. Please do not forget to get that through the link in the description. Another very important term that we will be dealing is 2 complete performance index, TCPI. This is the ratio of remaining works to remaining funds. It answers the question, to stay in the allocated budget, at what rate do we need to complete the remaining work? The formula is BAC minus EV divided by BAC minus AC. If the 2 complete performance index TCPI is less than 1, it is good or under budget. And if it is greater than 1, it is bad for us because we are over budget. The last formula is the variance at completion or VAC. It is the difference between budget at completion and estimate at completion and gives us the idea of how much will be under budget or over budget when we reach at the end of the project. So variance at completion is the difference between BAC and EAC. If BAC is greater than 0, we are over budget. And if VAC is less than 0, we are under budget. So again, you don't have to memorize this on the same video. You can download the check sheet, which helps you to memorize the formula easily. You can do that from the description. And with this, we have come to the end of the lecture. I hope you could get a lot of insights and revisions for your project management examinations. Thank you so much.